everyone. My name is Lori from Women's Health on the Go, where we provide telemedicine for women. Tonight, we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Jane Savage. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited to have you. Jane is a certified health coach. She wrote a book, Fit for Life, and she inspires women every day on just making them accountable, right? Accountable for their health and, getting back to exercising and nutrition and stuff. So welcome, Jane.
Thank you.
And I just want to start off. So how did you get doing this? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I was thinking a little bit about actually just today about, first off, I started off as a tennis coach. I've been teaching tennis all ages from ages 4 to 84 for the past 15 years. And really what got me into nutrition and health was really just having a family. And I realized that the way I was eating was not healthy. I wasn't really eating that great. So I just started slowly really doing some research, reading some books, and little by little, getting myself eating better, my kids eating better. But really the motivation to kind of go back to school and learn about nutrition and become a health coach was, I just kind of knew I didn't have all the pieces. So back in 2008, I went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and kind of the ball has been rolling ever since then, with being a certified health coach and working with groups and really this past year focusing a lot on moms and women and, writing this book for them, because I realized that it wasn't just saying, you need to eat more kale salad or drink more water. It was really helping them find the time and use their voice and really kind of get themselves back in the first position. So really the breaking point for me was when probably I would say 12 years ago when, I was confronted and just there was a moment in my kitchen where, it just came to a head where the tone, the attitude that I was creating in the home just was not a happy one. It was very crabby and, it was from not taking care of myself. I wasn't taking the time. I wasn't putting my needs first. I was taking care of everybody else but myself. And so this is kind of where it really took hold, and I just started really focusing my efforts, and then also helping other women just find that the time that they need and using the things that they already knew, their inner power, to really just sort of show up for themselves. Yes, you can have a career, you can have a family, but you can still take care of yourself.
I definitely think, I'm always trying to tell people, we as women, we are always taking care of everybody else, and we don't take the time for ourselves, and we do have to take, because if we're not healthy and we're not happy, how are we going to be with our family, with our friends and stuff like that? And, I always say we got to take care of ourselves. We have to do self-care. It is so important. So I totally agree with that.
My husband, and there was other moments, my children really saying, "Mom, you're always so tight." They really kind of showed me this is not okay. But until you sort of get on the other side of it, you don't really realize how poorly you feel. I thought I was just always supposed to feel tired at 3 o'clock and take a nap. I just thought that was what I was supposed to do, but it's just not true. You just have to manage, how you eat, how you rest, how you move, all the basics that we would tell, as a woman, we tell everybody else to do, but we need to do it for ourselves.
I know.
So
we need to practice what we preach.
Yeah. And it takes, we like tribes. We like to connect with other women.
Absolutely,
so, connecting with other women helps that journey.
No, absolutely. We were talking, I had a guest on last week, and we were just having that whole conversation about how women, we like to come together and we talk about things, we share our experiences, and we inspire each other. And that's really, I think really important for us. So let's talk about this awesome book you have.
Oh, right. Yahoo!
Now I know that you have different kind of shifts that we can do in our lives. And when we were talking before, we're going to kind of focus on shift number 3. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's a juicy one. Shift number 3 in the book. There's a couple steps there, and it kind of, again, the book, like I was telling you before, Lori, it's a quick read. You get in and out, and that is the goal. You can get away some good nuggets for yourself. So shift number 3 is implement non-negotiable routines. So like the word non-negotiable just sounds really good. And so when I first work with clients or just talk with women in general, I say, what do you do for yourself that at this moment that is non-negotiable? Some women don't have anything. They can't think of something. Some women, they're like, maybe they get their nails done every week, or they don't miss their boot camp class, or, they kind of figure out there's some things that are non-negotiable.
I think that's a good question, because when I was reading that, I was even thinking for myself, like, all right, what are those things? You know what I mean? And it really triggered, what I liked about it is it actually made me think about it, because I never really said, well, wait a minute, what are some things just for me and no one else? And that I always have to want to do that. And I think that's really important that we think about those things. So I love that point.
Yeah, and I think, yes, we can have things that we do once in a while, but I'm all about, okay, what do you do every day that is non-negotiable? And I'm talking, these are small things, because we add them up over time, then we feel happy, we feel recharged. It's not sort of, I go to the spa every month and get a massage. I mean, that's great, but we can't access that in the moment. We can't access that when we're feeling stressed after work, or we're waking up and we're trying to rush out the door. We can't just I'm going to go get a massage. No, we have to sort of have these routines in place that get us either moving forward at a good progress, but also getting us back on track. So we're all going to have these ups and downs. My big theme in the book, as you know, is we're not shooting for perfection. Yeah. So we're going to have times where we eat too much, we stay up too late, whatever. We drink too much. These routines help us come back to center, so to speak.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't even, now that you're even saying my thing is I do get a pedicure every 6 weeks or so, but I mean, every day I just try to think about what is it that I want to do, because sometimes even I'll call them my non-negotiables. I'm really trying to exercise. I'm trying to exercise, and I'm trying to either exercise or meditate every day. That's what I'm dealing with right now.
That's good. So when you say exercise and meditate, what are you looking to get out of those two?
Well, exercise, I want to get healthier, right? I mean, because I'm getting younger, as I say. I'm getting
Good. I'm
getting
like
younger.
That. Okay.
And I feel like, I'm at a point all right, I really have to be on top of exercising. Before I would just exercise for a couple of weeks, and I'd be like, why am I doing this? I don't really want to do it. So I'm really I need to have a healthier lifestyle. I want to, eat better as well, and I want to exercise. And there's lots of stuff about meditation. I like meditating, but it's hard for me. It's something that I try to do. I either do either or. Because I only have so much time before I got to go to work, and I say, all right, I got 30 minutes. Either I'm going to meditate or I'm going to exercise. And, in meditation, just, stress relief, just they say it's healthier just for your body to just calm down and not think of anything. So those are the reasons why I'm doing them, but sometimes I find them hard to do.
Right, and that's a good point, because anything new that we're trying to create in our lifestyle can feel hard to do. And we'll kind of walk through the 3 steps under this shift. But the goal at the end is to, say in a couple weeks, you're going to wake up and say, you're not even going to think about it. It's kind of on autopilot. It's automatic. So in one of the early parts in the book, I asked people to say, you want to decide once. You're deciding, for example, you, Lori, you're deciding to exercise because you're getting younger, you want to feel healthier, right? So you've already decided. So the decision is done. You don't have to keep deciding every morning when you wake up, am I going to exercise today? No, because then you're just sort of wearing down your willpower and using it up. So under implement non-negotiable routines, I talk about pick two. So this is a great example. You have two things. So you want to meditate and you want to exercise. So a lot of times when I work with clients, I have them work through a worksheet, and it's called pick two. They pick 2 daily goals, 2 weekly goals, 2 monthly goals. So would you want these 2 goals to be daily or weekly?
I would say daily, but my problem is that I only have time to do either or. Does that make sense?
I think we have time to do both, but let's.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I think you're selling yourself short here, Lori. Good. So then so it's pick 2, and then the second thing is you write them down, and the third step is you use your voice. So let's dissect the exercise for a moment as a great example. So think about, there's a lot of exercise out there.
Oh, yeah.
To you, how do you see yourself starting? Is it in the morning? Is it outside? Is it at the gym? What's it look like for you?
It's definitely in the morning.
Okay.
As the weather gets nicer, absolutely outside. I have a high school track like a block away from me.
Okay.
And on those rainy days, doing something on the inside. Whether it's, I do like kettlebell, the kettlebell exercises, or yoga.
Great.
Yeah.
So that's really good, because there's really a lot of specifics there. And the more specific you get, the easier it is for you to say that you're going to wake up and say, oh, I'm going to go do 2 laps at the high school track today. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just about building the groove in your brain and saying, I'm setting the time aside to go do this. So by saying that it's in the morning, it's outside, it's at the high school track, that's plan A. Plan B is, write down 3 exercises you can do with your kettlebell and then do 10 minutes of yoga or something, right? So you want to are you shooting for a time frame that you'd like to go exercise or move your body?
Well, they say that 30 minutes a day is the recommended.
Who's they?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some experts out there.
Just checking. Okay. How about you starting? Like what is the time frame you're working with in the morning?
I do. Well, actually, it depends on what I do. Now, if I go to the track, I've been jogging 2, walking 1, jogging 2, walking 1. I do a cycle of 3 of that.
Oh, great.
Right? So that's what I've been doing for it. So it's not, it kind of ends up being like about a half hour.
Okay.
And then if it's yoga, I belong to Gaia channel online.
Yeah.
And they've got lots. I just try to randomly pick a different, like yoga, and I try to get it to be around 30 minutes.
Perfect.
And the kettlebells, I have a little routine piece of paper that has a little routine on it, and I just follow through with it.
This is perfect. This is a great example. Like you have the routine there. You kind of really clear about what it is. And so now it's sort of, so when I would have someone create this sort of, well, let's say it's a daily goal. Okay. So we're shoot for daily. It may or may not happen. Maybe you'll substitute a meditation in there, but let's shoot for daily. So under that, you're going to even pick 2 again. You're going to pick 2 action steps. And this is something like putting your sneakers and your workout clothes out the night before, setting up the online yoga channel on your laptop the night before. So when you just get up and you just hit play. You're not fumbling around trying to I don't know which, I'll do it tomorrow. It's like we all get in that trap. But so the action steps are really, really specific. And so you're trying to build those steps into the bigger goal of moving.
Which I think that's a key because, I personally will go, 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 go. And like I said before, all of a sudden I'll be like, I'd rather just not do that this morning. What if I just sat here and watched a TV show for half an hour instead? And I'm noticing that I go into these, I'm doing it, and going down. So I think adding something like that would be, because it's almost like you wake up and you see your clothes there, you see the sneakers, and you're just, instead of putting my pajamas on it, like the rest of my, my pajama bottoms and stuff like that, then maybe instead just put my clothes on right away, and that's like, here.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it seems like such a small step, but we all know, like, if I just go downstairs in my pajamas and slippers, that's like, you're just inviting yourself to like watch TV or lounge around. But if you get up and put your workout clothes on, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, yeah, okay, I'm ready. It's a state of mind. So you're physically changing the state, so then you're more apt to like hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, that's you got.
Yeah,
that's the tough part.
So it's a tough part, but again, you're always going. I'm always helping my clients go back to why you're doing this.
Yeah,
like and it may or may not take some people some time to really think about and own why they're doing it. For example, people just say, well, I want to lose weight. I'm like, yeah, nope, not good enough. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, I don't want to end up sick like my mother. Aha.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So it has to be that personal and that deep, because when you wake up in the morning, you know why you're doing this. If you don't know why you're doing it, you're going to go like, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And, you just, again, so it's diving deep into the why, the bigger picture of why. And then you're creating these little better habits for yourself, these non-negotiable routines to help you get to that bigger why.
So it just becomes like driving to work.
It becomes like driving to work. It's, it's about adding in these good routines. So I talk a lot about, a lot of us have bad routines, and I'm not coming in and saying, Lori, and shaking my finger, you shouldn't do that. Like, that doesn't work. What works is, let's add in the good stuff. So you're going to sort of get on the momentum of feeling so good, and your running is going to get better, that you get on the other side of it, you're not going to want to miss the running.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to miss a workout, because the feeling that you get from moving your body. So really, that's kind of really dissecting the pick two, those goals, and really driving it down so much that when you wake up, you're like, why would I not go run the track? I don't, there's really no talking yourself out of it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Now, when you talk about these other kind of 2 goals, I know it's 2 per day, 2 per week, 2 per month.
Yeah.
When you're working with clients, like, is it just like, exercise and nutrition, or like, is it, what kind of other goals do people have for like the week and stuff?
That's a great example. Like, a monthly goal would be, I want to save $100 to go on a girly road trip this summer.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Okay. How are you going to save $100? I want to make a date night every week, Saturday morning with my spouse. Great. Where are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? How long? So those are more like, when we talk about health, it's a lot of those weekly and monthly goals start turning into relationship, career, finance goals, which is all part of sort of that circle of life when it comes to your health. Those play a big part.
Oh, yeah.
I talk a lot about primary food. Primary food is really everything that comes off your plate. Relationships, joy, career, spirituality. So we got to nourish those too. We got to add, maybe you want to work on your social life. I remember doing the little circle of life exercise myself. I'm like, God, my social life sucks. But for me, social life is something very different than somebody else. It could be meeting a friend for coffee. Another person, it could be going out to the bars 3 nights a week.
Right.
Not very healthy, but it's more of a big group social thing. So those are some great examples of weekly and monthly goals.
Oh, that's cool. So it's almost like you're working through the whole span with people. It's not just that health and nutrition. You're just across their whole lives.
Their whole lives.
Yeah, their whole life.
You have to look at the whole thing and how they walk through their life every day and how they interact with people, how they're thinking, what their mindset is. Because I believe the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you approach approach a certain mindset to exercise or the way you take care of yourself, that's going to have a ripple effect in your relationships and your career and everything else in your life. So it's really, everything affects everything else, basically.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So what about the next step is writing it down?
Yeah, write it down. Right. I mean, it's like, oh no, I'll remember. And I'm like, no, you won't. It's write it down and use a system that you like. So if somebody's real techie and they like their phone, maybe they're going to keep it on Google Calendar, or somebody likes a pretty little spiral notebook, they can write it in there. I don't care how you write it down. It just needs to be out of your head and down on paper. Because really, you're just sort of, again, committing to yourself.
Yeah.
It's real now. It's out there.
Now, is it almost like putting it on their calendar, or is it just like, if you're writing it down, are you writing it like, okay, so every day you're writing it, or just, because I know that there's a big thing about success and about how writing your goals down and reviewing your goals and reviewing them and then rewriting them and all that kind of stuff.
That sounds exhausting. No, just kidding. No, I think the big thing is with writing it down is that I think a lot of us, a lot of the women I approach, they're really good at making lists. They're really good at creating a calendar for themselves. They keep a calendar for their family.
Yeah.
But I'm like, where are you on this calendar? So
yeah.
I write in, I'm going to work out from 8 to 9. Okay, I'm going to have a client from 10 to 11. It's, again, making it a non-negotiable is having it show up just like everything else that's really important in your life, from work to family to a dentist appointment. You have to put in that new non-negotiable routine, because again, you're then committing to yourself saying, wow, this is in my calendar. I guess I better go do it.
Yeah. I know for me, like you said, you have clients. I am a list person. Every day I wake up and I make my list of things, and I love it when I can scratch it out.
Scratch it off.
I love, because it just makes me feel like, oh my God, I've accomplished. So look at this list. It's full of scratched off things. This is awesome every day.
Right.
And putting that kind of stuff is probably, exercise. I mean, I even do it. I'm like, exercise, whatever I got to do, I put on there.
But even, again, that's a great tip too. But don't just write exercise. Like, that's not very luxurious and engaging. It's just like, oh, I have to exercise. Put in there, I'm going to run outside in the sunshine for half an hour.
Oh yeah.
That feels much better, right?
It does, actually.
So just, when you make a to-do list or you make a list, put it down to where you're going to want to scratch that off. You're going to want to cross that out because it feels really good.
It's a rainy day, and I'm going to pump iron and make my muscles really good looking with those kettlebells.
Yes, right, exactly.
I got you, yeah.
So that's what you can put in your calendar, and that's what you can put on your to-do list. And you're just going to be like, yeah, baby, I'm going to own that and do that.
All right.
So the third one is...
Wait, hold on 1 sec. Oh, wait. Oh, we're good to go. Okay. We went red for like 2 seconds. I'm like, oh my gosh, but now we're back to green. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So the third one is use your voice. and this was really kind of where I made my growth, I think. I mean, I was not a big communicator. I definitely consider myself an introvert. So I just kind of was like not really using my voice. But when I started flexing that muscle, oh boy, watch out. It was like there was no turning back. So in addition to helping women create these great routines, having them write it down. Okay, so they feel committed. They know what they're doing. Without this next piece, they were still going to fall short. They didn't communicate it with their family. They didn't communicate it with their coworkers. And they kind of got the thinking of, well, they should know. I'm like, no, guess what? They don't. We have to tell them. So whoever's in your life, you need to tell them. You need to flex that muscle and tell them, hey, listen, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to go run at the track before work. That's it. Matter of fact, nothing extra. Maybe you want to walk more at lunchtime. Great. Tell your coworkers. They're going to help you hold you accountable. So really using your voice. And this is sort of like you're trying to set boundaries. You have to learn how to say what is okay and what is not okay. So if you're scheduled to go run the track at 8 a.m. before work and somebody says, oh, can you do this? What are you going to do?
I got to go run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to really show up for yourself. You're going to say, you know what? I'd love to help you, but I'm already committed. How about tomorrow? Can I help you then?
Yeah.
So, it's really just using your voice over and over again. And 99.9% of the time we are supported. We think we're not quite sure if people are going to support us or they're going to criticize us, but people are just the loved ones in our lives. They're just waiting for us to step up and show up for ourselves because they're ready to support us.
Yeah.
They're waiting for us to say, are you going to go do this or what?
Yeah, and encourage you as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, you said you were going for a run this morning. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. We need those things.
We totally
need that. Yeah, I had a client I can remember. She has a Fitbit, and so she has a friend, and they somehow they knew the client knew, or her friend knew that if she wasn't up and her Fitbit wasn't moving, then she was going to call her like, are you getting to the gym or what? Yeah, they kind of
did they connect or something?
I think they connected, or if she wasn't at the gym, they were meeting at the gym really early before work. So that's a huge accountability. You're not going to leave your friend hanging.
No,
you're gonna hear it, right?
Yeah, I think when you have a teammate in this whole thing, that's really it is come on, let's go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So those are really the 3 steps. It's just really kind of pick 2 and really get specific. Write them down, and when you write them down, really get specific and what system you're going to use to kind of keep yourself accountable, and then just keep using your voice and keep showing up for yourself.
That's awesome. Now I know that Dave is a frequent viewer of the show, and as he's always saying, he goes, "Guys can do this too."
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had a lot of male clients, and they're great. They're just like, dude, just tell me, Jane, what to do. I'm like, you got it. Let's do it. Oh yeah, this is not, yes, it's geared toward women, but a lot of the men that I talk to, they suffer from the same issues. They're, they sort of don't show up for themselves when they want to as well. So yeah, Dave can use all these tips tonight.
Now, so, I know that you work with a lot of women and stuff, and some guys as well. So what does that typically, obviously you help them through these kind of steps, but, just to, if somebody was thinking about, giving you a call, just to give them an idea of what would it look like if they were working with you? Is it something that you're meeting every week? Is it,
yeah,
here you got homework, get to it, how do you?
Right, yeah. It's really kind of, it's sort of something that probably you've never experienced before. So it's basically I work with people for 6 months at a time, and we talk over the phone for, twice a month. But it's basically I'm in your corner for the entire 6 months. We email constantly, we text all the time. Really, there's no sort of kind of break in support. It's just we're checking in every 2 weeks, right. And we're kind of really setting these pick 2 goals. We're saying we're checking in with how things went before, and what are you looking for the next couple weeks. I take my clients shopping. If we're close to each other, I take them shopping, and I met a client last week and we did a walk. We did a walk instead of talking over the phone. So it's really just sort of guiding them along this process of, creating new habits for themselves. And it takes some time. So I always offer a free 30-minute session just to kind of connect and see if we're a good fit, right. And then sort of come up with a program that'll work for them.
I noticed that, just in our conversations as well, when you said about meeting them, that you've actually met some in the food store to help them on the outside of the
outside of the perimeter,
outside the perimeter, so to kind of show them the better foods and how to shop healthier.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I want to give them as many tools and strategies in those 6 months that they are going to sort of leave me knowing how to navigate the world, navigate their life to make it the healthiest possible life they can. I think back to the clients that I've had, and they don't gain the weight back because really they've really changed their entire life. So when you change your life, your lifestyle,
yes.
The weight is sort of the side effect of all the work we put in around the routines, around sleep, eating, drinking, stress management, all those things. The weight is the side effect. So we don't really talk about weight a lot. We talk about all the routines. So my goal is to have someone sort of push them out of the nest after 6 months and say, you got this. You have all the tools that they can use now and they can use for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, because this I'm going to call it simple because I think there's simple steps to kind of take. You can like you even said, like saving $100, to go away on vacation. You can kind of apply them to anything in your life, which I think is really awesome. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, I really stress the simple, sensible, and straightforward solutions. So there's no fancy ingredients, no supplements. It's just real food, real sleep, real water, and it's just sort of getting all those things to fire at once. And so when you're doing all those things at once, that's when you feel good and things fall into place.
Absolutely. So I've got a couple of comments here.
Okay.
So one, Dave, I'm going to put in the comments of where you can get Jane's book and her website as well. So if you want to reach out to her, I have a copy of her book. I'm not going to close. I got it on my iPad, but I think Jane, you have a copy of it to give a little show to everybody. Yay! So it's a great book, and it's to the point. It's an easy read. And like you said, I mean, it's not like you're going to be like, it's thick and you can't takes you years to read. It's really quick. And even if anything, if you read the book, you can get really great ideas. And I really enjoyed reading it. I even took notes and everything to kind of apply those things. So we'll definitely, hello, Nancy. And just everyone saying that this is a great show, absolutely.
All right. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
So I think we've been on the show for a little over half an hour. So thank you, Jane, for coming on and sharing all that great information with us. I really enjoyed having you.
Happy to share. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm definitely, maybe down the road we'll have you again. Maybe things will change. You never know. Something. You may have another new shift step or something we got to add.
That's right. Well, I would love to come back and check in on you and see how you're exercise is going.
I'm actually thinking about, all right, now I got to come up with 2 weekly ones. I got to come up with 2 monthly ones.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
You know, just kind of be, you know, accountable for it. I mean, it's funny because, you know, as you know, owning a business and stuff like that, you know, I've got all these lists for my job, you know, like for the company and what do I got to do? And it's almost like you forget about yourself, you know, and I always tell people we got to take care of ourselves.
Right.
You know, it's very, very important. So, so
good stuff.
Yeah, no, I had a great time tonight. Thank you again so much for coming on the show. Everybody, I'm going to put in the description of this, I'm going to put the link to getting Jane's book, going to Jane's website, going to Jane's Facebook page. We're just going to hook you all up, and that's about it for this evening. So thank you very much, everybody. Lori from Women's Health on the Go. Jane Savage.
Thanks, Lori. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And we'll see you next week. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be next week, but you know, during the week I will post what we're going to be talking about next week. Everyone have a great, great week, and we'll be talking to you soon. Take care, everybody.